Hey guys, and welcome to another video from Chris's Philly Kicks. Apologies for the lack of content again. I've been trying to get so many videos out, but just running out of time. Personal training, coaching kids at the weekend, coaching kids during the week, and then I'm also coaching the local soccer team as well. So it's been pretty full on. But today, I'm hoping this video will help a lot of people who are thinking about going in a slightly different direction when it comes to a speed boot. So bear with me and let's get into it. So this week we are looking at the Mizuno Alpha 2 made in Japan. So here we are in this second colorway from the brand. Love the colorway. I really liked the initial first colorway, but the yellow sole plate thing put me off, and I really wasn't that super keen on that. But yeah, this is the boot, guys. So where are we with this boot? This is the made in Japan version, and how does it compare to the Elite version from last year? I'm going to get into that, and you might be interested in this one, guys. So bear with me, stick with it, and here we go. So not having a made in Japan boot from Mizuno for a very, very long time. I can't even remember the actual model I had years ago, but it was like a black pair, white fold over tongue. Even when Mizuno were kind of not really a massive brand in the UK. But it was a boot that I picked up. I think it was in like an auction or a sale or something like that. I was only young. I was probably about 17, 18, 19 max. So yeah, that's a long time ago. Anyway, so into this boot, made in Japan, Mizuno Alpha. How does it compare to last year's Elite and what I would guess is probably near on this year's Elite? So first and foremost, it's super light. It weighs in 193 grams. So it is light compared to last year's Elite version. This comes in at 207 grams, I think it is, or 203 grams, something like that. So it's about a 10 gram difference. This year with the made in Japan version, you've got this zero glide material, which is here, which runs all the way inside the boot, literally encases a whole boot. So lockdown on this boot is, yeah, it's phenomenal. I'm not going to lie. Absolutely amazing. Your foot does not move in this boot. So from that point of view, it's absolutely fantastic. Can't complain whatsoever. In regard to the sole plate, you have a Carvo insert, which is obviously you can see here. And in my unboxing video, I also showed you inside where you can see the Carvo, which comes probably from about here all the way to the front of the toe box. So you've then got this kind of speed frame sort of thing, what kind of I would say fused into the upper. So lockdown, fantastic. Responsiveness, fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Can't fault it whatsoever. I always go for the runner's loop if I can, just to get that little bit of extra lockdown. And it just secures the foot in even more. Do you really need to do it? I don't think so. So all in all, from that side sort of things, lockdown, weight, responsiveness, fantastic. Can't fault it. Your foot is not going to move in these when you get it in there due to this zero glide material that's all the way inside the boot. It's phenomenal. I don't understand why other boots haven't incorporated some sort of thing themselves. So from that point of view, it's great. Sizing wise, I went down to in Adidas, I'm a UK 9, so I went down to a size 8.5 UK in these, which I believe is a US 9.5, just to give me that half a size down. And I would say that the fitting length is pretty much bang on for my foot. I've kind of just got an average foot. It's not super wide, it's not super sort of slim, it's just an average foot. So sizing, fit, absolutely fantastic. Lockdown, great. So that brings me into the comfort. I'm not going to lie. Out of the box, The Elites I had from last year were super comfortable, literally straight out of the box, on feet, no hot spots. The Made in Japan from this year, the 2s, hot spots across the top of my toes, across here on both feet. Didn't last for long, I've got to be honest, but definitely not as comfortable as last year's Elite. As I said, once I had them on for half hour or so, I'd say I didn't really notice it. But I did actually have blisters on my right foot, on my kind of like my middle toe. So just be aware of that one, guys. Straight out of the box, these are definitely not as comfortable as last year's Elites, that's for sure. Whether or not it's to do with that lockdown or just the way I strike the ball, something like that, I really don't know. Maybe it's just something, the way the boot just sits on my toe. I really couldn't put my finger on it, but 100% from comfort-wise, yes, they are comfortable, but I would definitely think about just taking into account that I did have some hot spots in these boots, not in the heel area, but definitely just across the top of my toes. I don't know why. I never got it with the Elites, so it's just strange I got it with the MIJs. No idea whatsoever. So comfort-wise, just bear that in mind. So that brings me on to the elephant in the room, should we say. The price. $320, I think these are, off the top of my head. Although you can probably pick them up now in a sale because you've obviously had the new Platinum pack released. So for $320, what does that get you? It gets you a Carvo insert and it gets you the MIJ labeling and obviously that little bit better quality. But how does that really compare to last year's Elite? Now, if we look at these boots back to back, the external heel counter looks almost the same. You've got obviously the Carvo in the MIJ and there's no Carvo in the Elite version. It's slightly lighter and you have the Zero Glide all the way through the internal. This one doesn't have the Zero Glide all the way internal, but even looking at the branding, you've got Design for Speed on the side there, Design for Speed on this side. They've kind of moved the run bird across the front. The laces are pretty much the same. In fact, I'd actually say these laces are slightly better on this version because they've got kind of little gold flecks through them, which makes it nice. And then, as I said, it's the price. Okay, so the price. And in actual fact, just looking at this, and I've only just noticed, this one is actually slightly thinner than this one. If you look, this is a kind of a bit of a wider toe box compared to that one. Maybe that's why this one gave me slight little blisters and hot spots and this one didn't. But this one has been worn probably less than this one, and this one gave me obviously hot spots. So that's very strange. But yeah, going back to the price, guys, I picked these up in a sale for about 130 English pounds, which is about $160, there or thereabouts. Okay, these cost me brand new $320, so pretty much double the price, especially by the time I paid for taxes and delivery and so on and so forth. And this is where it becomes a bit of an issue for me. Can you justify, or can I justify, or can I recommend even people to justify the cost in the difference? And the answer is no. There is not enough difference in these two boots for $160 price hike. There's not. For 10 grams different in weight, man, you're not even going to notice that. As you can see from the difference there in the actual width of the boot, this one is obviously slightly wider than this one. Maybe it's just the way the lace is, etc. I don't know. These are obviously supposed to spend longer on a lace than the Elites. They're obviously, this is made in Japan, this is made in Indonesia or Singapore or wherever these ones are made in a different country. The laces, these seem to be a slightly better quality of lace, even though the materials are kind of the same, just a bit finer touches, nicer touches with the gold flecks through it. Responsiveness, yeah, this one is responsive with the carvo, but so is this one without the carvo. So when it comes to the actual price in the boots, we've got some issues. There's an issue there, and I can't recommend the MIJ over the Elite. I just can't, because there isn't a big enough difference in these two boots. They are almost, and I mean almost exactly the same. Now, I know for a fact that just looking at some other reviews that the new Elite version has the zero glide all the way through it, the same as the MIJ. So I don't really know what you're paying for on the difference between the MIJ 2 and the Elite 2, because the MIJ 2 and the 1, there's hardly any difference. So all in all, in my opinion, and it obviously is my opinion, people may think differently, I can't recommend the MIJs. It's a great boot. Don't get me wrong. I love playing in it, and I've worn this boot a lot, and I really have worn this boot a lot, much more than I've worn this. But I just can't recommend it for the price. It's just far, far too expensive for a synthetic upper boot, even though it's got the carvo in it, especially when there's obviously other boots out there that are just as good speed boots that run this very close. $320 Mizuno is crazy. As much as I love your boots, for a synthetic speed boot compared to last year's Elites, guys, simple fact is, if you're going to buy a Mizuno Alpha and you want the boot and you really want it, buy the Elite. Don't buy the MIJ, because I don't think you can justify, and I can't definitely justify the difference in the price. And this is coming from someone that plays a lot of soccer at this moment in time. So I can't recommend the MIJs. Save your money, buy the Elites. It's going to be almost, if not exactly the same, apart from the only thing I can think you're possibly missing is the actual carvo insert. So that's my opinion, guys. So on that bombshell, thanks for watching, everybody. We've got some more content coming. I'm actually in the process of filming a couple of unboxings, and then there's going to be a review of the Nike Tiempo Luxe, which I'm hoping is going to be a much better boot than the standard Tiempo. The limited edition launch emerald color green colorway, which I had possibly my worst game ever. So look out for that video. Smash a like, guys. Thanks for watching. And as I said, if you want the Mizuno Alpha 2 or even the 1, go and buy the Elite versions. Don't buy the MIJs. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you soon.